How to quit any addiction right now, non-duality style. Something compelled me to make this video, and therefore my intention is to help someone, even if it's just one person. Maybe that's you. If there's any medical reason you need supervision in quitting something, obviously go get the support you need. This video is about addictions that are safe to quit cold turkey right away. If you clicked on this video, you're probably into non-duality, and you've probably been wanting to quit something that you're not just doing every so often, but you're doing regularly, and you know that it's damaging your body, health, and brain. So why do you carry on doing it when you don't actually want to be doing it? Because of the discomfort that arises when you don't do it, and the temporary relief from that discomfort when you re-engage with it, right? To illustrate this, imagine you're a smoker, or perhaps you are. Imagine you were 100% certain somehow that if you continue to smoke, you would feel permanently horrible and depressed, and that if you stopped right away, you would feel absolutely constantly amazing in your body and mind. What would you do? You'd obviously stop right away, right? You might say, but Alex, I do feel horrible when I smoke, and I don't like it, but I continue anyway. Yeah, I know what you mean. You feel horrible sometimes when you notice the taste and smell and the horrible ways it makes your body feel, along with the thoughts in your head about how it's gradually killing you. But when you stop doing it, you get this discomfort in your body and mind that engaging with the addiction again provides some temporary relief from. And this discomfort feels so unbearable sometimes that you go to the substance again to get that temporary relief from it, even if in the long term you know it's damaging you and it never helps you. On the way to re-engaging with the substance, you may have loads of thoughts in your mind that say, actually, maybe this is helping me. Maybe it's good to reduce my stress right now. Maybe the research on this stuff is a bit unclear and it's not actually that bad. And you identify with those thoughts again to escape the uncomfortable feelings. So these uncomfortable feelings are what's tempting you to go back to the addiction again and again. These uncomfortable feelings are usually a mix of physical withdrawal symptoms and emotions that you have been suppressing through engaging with the substance. Essentially, it's a way to not fully feel. And I totally get it. I totally have compassion for it. Withdrawal symptoms, strong emotions coming up can sometimes feel really uncomfortable or even painful, and it can be really intense, and I've experienced it many times. So what's the answer? The answer is to instill a desire within you to reach the peace and calm on the other side of the discomfort. A desire that is stronger and more lasting than the desire to get the temporary relief you get from re-engaging with the substance. It's also to know and experience that any discomfort, stress, or intense emotions that come up as you quit cannot harm and do not harm your essential nature. When discomfort, pain, or intense emotions arise, they arise as physically felt sensations in the body. Notice the feeling of your body right now. Notice the raw sensations you're experiencing at the moment. These are what can intensify and become more uncomfortable after you stop what was covering up the suppressed emotions and feelings, right? Notice that you're aware. Notice you are this awareness, and notice if any of these sensations, however uncomfortable, have ever harmed or disturbed the awareness, have ever harmed or disturbed the real you. You see, when your attention is contracted down onto thinking, and you're conceptualizing yourself to be a person who this discomfort is happening to, there's incredible suffering. When you're aware of your being, and you simply are, without taking yourself to be a personal identity, you experience the sensations. The discomfort isn't happening to anyone. It's just happening. It's just raw, physically felt sensations. Now, that doesn't nullify the relative experience. Sometimes feeling these withdrawal symptoms or feelings is sometimes really uncomfortable. I get it. It can feel like it completely sucks sometimes. But there can be a deeper part of you that recognizes your being and recognizes it's completely still and undisturbed, however uncomfortable the bodily sensations might be. There is great value, absolutely incredible value, in feeling these sensations and allowing them to process. There is temporary pain or discomfort, but there is great peace and relief on that other side that's astronomically bigger than the temporary relief you get from re-engaging with the substance. You see, you've suppressed all these feelings for way too long, and they're all backed up. That's why they flare up so intensely when you try to stop. There may or may not be an intense period as you stop for good, but whatever happens, you are safe to process these feelings and have them gradually dissolve and release. And when you do, everything around you changes for the better. You may be concerned that if you stop, you're going to get all uncomfortable feelings and it's going to drive loads of stress, that drives loads of horrible thinking, that has you lash out on other people in stressy behavior. Again, this only happens when we overlook our being and escape the feeling by going into thinking or action. Be with the feeling, know it can't harm you, allow it to transform and transmute. If you feel a tightness in your neck, allow that by knowing yourself as the allowing space. If you feel heat all over your body, allow that by knowing yourself as the allowing space, this beingness. If you have pain in your body, don't resist by resting perceptually as the space around it that doesn't resist just by its nature. The piece of your being may seem temporarily covered up by all the emotions and tough feelings that come out as you stop, but it's already there, underneath and around it. It's already there, still and undisturbed by any sensation, and it's increasingly felt as the sensations are allowed to be felt, processed, and dissolved. Even if you think you're absolutely sure you want to stop, and you already know how damaging it is, and you've read all the articles and seen all the warnings, there's probably still a belief somewhere within you that actually is better to continue. There could be a part of you that you identify with that feels like it would be missing out and feels like it would be a massive inconvenience to stop, and that perhaps life actually is better with this thing. And perhaps you've tried so many times to stop, you feel like you've become resigned to whatever. But change the frame. Don't see it as something you're losing. See it as something you're gaining. See it as what it really is. You're going free. Don't look at the people outside smoking cigarettes and identify with thoughts that say, they're getting a nice social break outside. They're making new friends. I'm missing out. I'm feeling all crappy. No, and feel the truth. Feel the relief. They are addicts and they don't want to be. Thank God I'm not them. Thank God I'm not a slave to that addiction, a slave to something that is killing their body from the inside out. Thank God I don't have to do that, and have compassion for them. I'm so grateful I can breathe better. I'm so grateful my lungs are healing. It's so much fun to see my breath holds going up when I practice breath work. It's so much fun to feel stronger and more energy at the gym. It's so nice to know that I'm so much more likely to be able to play with my grandkids instead of dying before they're born. If you're a smoker and you want to stop, don't become an ex-smoker. An ex-smoker is the identity of someone who used to smoke and has now stopped, but could fall off the wagon at any moment. Just be a non-smoker. A non-smoker isn't trying not to smoke, they're just not into it. See it objectively for what it is. It's not personal. It's not necessarily about ethics or morality, although these substance industries can also be extremely unethical and harmful too, and you could be funding that with your money, so maybe do some research. But for example, at the base level, it's okay to smoke. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it's okay to smoke. Smoke if you want to. Damage your lungs if you want to. I've done it many times, and there's no ethical or moral thing here stopping me from doing it again, and I'm not going to judge myself if I ever do. All this trying to judge it and judge yourself and saying it's bad and perhaps you're a bad person for doing it, it doesn't help, right? You know that. It may provide some temporary motivation, but it doesn't last. Just see it objectively for what it is. Is it helping you? Is it helping you help other people? Is it helping you serve the world powerfully? Is it helping you create what you want to create? Just see it objectively for what it is. Something that might feel good temporarily, but greatly harms you the more you do it. And you just don't want to do it. You're just not into it. You are the unconditioned consciousness conceiving yourself to be whatever you're appearing as. So conceive yourself to be one who doesn't do that and instead feels their feelings, feels their discomfort, and knows it can't ultimately harm them, and receives great benefit from processing and releasing whatever's coming up. You see, there's a piece on the other side of the discomfort, a piece that's already here, around and underneath it. If you're stopping weed for a while, or for good, and all your emotions are coming up and you're crying, cry. Let it out in the safety of your being. If you're tired and apathetic after you stop that stimulant, sleep your butt off. Feel the apathy for a moment. If you're stopping smoking and you feel the stress and anger in your body, feel the stress and anger. Process it. Impersonally channel it into something, or allow it to release by being your beingness and feeling. Make the decision, tell some loved ones, and stop. You might say, but this is non-duality. Who's making the decision? And if you want to look at it that way, the decision just happens. It just happens. And it can be right now. Whatever you want deeper support with, if you're serious about working one-to-one together, go to speaktoalex.com. Peace.